Molly May, will you come out to play? Your smile takes the edge off of the day, and you're a light that brightens.
This is Molly May, a Bod Pause Pod and other nice stuff with me, Molly May. Hi, Trish. It's me, Molly May. I have something really important to get off my chest before I do anything, and this has nothing to do with anything except for I need you all right now to go on the internet, whatever that means to you, and look up the fucking Tesla logo. It's like Google fucking Tesla, not fucking Tesla. That probably give you some shit. But the Tesla logo, guys, I realized this the other day. It looks just like a fucking IUD. The Tesla logo looks just like an IUD. Now maybe it's it's insane to me. And the day that I discovered it, I felt brilliant and a little cheated. Because I'm like, that is an IUD. Like bonus points also then if you can like find a red IUD, right? Because like Tesla's like red and white. And I've seen it because I put them side by side to prove. It's not like send it. I think I just put it on the internet. I think I put it on my Instagram stories and I was like, what's this shit? But anyway, I'm Molly May and today I'm going to be talking about my dog's vagina. Between those two things, that was the sound of at least 5 people unfollowing and clicking stop on this podcast. I couldn't talk about Rosie the dog's hoochie cooch last week. 2 weeks ago. The start of this saga that I'm about to tell you today started 2 weeks ago because I was a sobby mess over it. I didn't want to booger up the mic. So here we are, right meow, with some late breaking urgent news on my dog's vagina. But first, urgent news. But first, I want to talk to you about maritime folk music. Because that's my new thing. You guys... Johnny, notoriously when I'm in a space, I'm like, what music are we listening to? Where can I plug into the Bluetooth? I'm going to do this because music is such an important part of the vibe and the ambiance to me. And it also helps me feel a little bit in control, I think. It's part of my control issues. But the other day, Johnny was in charge of the music in the studio. And he's singing. I'm across the studio, and it's like a big warehouse, right? When we're making our pots. That's my favorite pottery joke to make, because like we make pots. So he's on the other side of this big studio, and he's singing about wenches and hoes. And I go over there. And I very matter-of-factly, I was just like, sir, this is not okay. And because he knows me so well, right, like better than I've ever known myself, he just looked me blank square in the face. And he's like, Nan, I'm not saying wench or hoe. I am saying... rattle them winches. Oh. Yep. You guys, those are the lyrics of the song of the fucking week. Maritime folk is like the ominous rabble-rousing of the beginning of Disney's The Little Mermaid. You know, like when that old guy is seasick and puking off the side, and they're just all like, rattle them winches! Oh, yep! so like, and it's, maritime folk has been my fucking jam. So I obviously had to look up what the fuck rattle them winches means. And it says, it being the internet. A wind... here I go again. Girls, what's my name? Weakness, man. Okay, then. A windlass turned by a crank for hoisting or hauling. Any of various devices for cranking. Also, wince. Textiles. Any machine equipped with rollers that guide cloth through a dye or finishing solution in an open vat. That's legit. So with that, I'm sorry to report that I still don't know what the fuck that means. Is it like when they rattle them winches? Is it like when they, in my head, it will just be when they hoist the sails. Or like when they take her to sea and stretch her legs. It's Titanic reference. Someone's from whatever rattle them winches means to you. It's the point. It's art, guys. It's poetry. It doesn't have to have a meaning. Sure. So the song is Rattle Them Winches by this is another fucking mouthful. Why did I choose? I just love the song so much, but it's also fucking hard to say. By the Sheringham Shanty. Shit. By the Sheringham Shanty Men. This felt like when that kindergartner gets that solo, and they get as close to the mic and they're like, Sheringham Shanty Men. And literally you have to your hands, I'm sorry guys for earbuds. And you're sitting in the crowd and you're like, that kid just fucking ate the microphone and also blew up my eardrums. But it was hilarious. So this will be a good one today, guys. The point is that it's a great song with a group of harmonizing dudes, a cappella, hollering fun words. That's how their words are fun. And they're not talking about wenches or hoes. So that's great. And it really just it really sounds like a beer drinking song. And I've never hated that. So here we go. A buddy was telling me the other day that Rosie, the dog, will look really great on the front of a ship. Like how they have mermaids carved out of big old wooden ships, And I think it's because she has a large chest. I think that was the joke. I said something about her having a big chest and she look good on the front of a ship. But we're not talking about her chest today. We're talking about her vagina. The vet suggested she have a cosmetic surgery done on her vagina. And that's what, I'm going to divulge. I'm going to give you just a little bit of detail every 3 minutes. So there, click, just went another 5 unfollows. So kind of in the theme of pirates and sailing and shantymen. What's a shantyman? Well, I'm a shantyman. I'll find out in another day. I bought a pair of denim overalls recently. And those two, honestly, have nothing to do with each other. Denim is terrible when it's wet. I don't advise pirates to wear denim, especially more denim than necessary in the form of overalls. So I was talking to my sweet dream of a producer, Twyla, about what we call overalls. Are they bibs or are they overalls? Also, because she's so good, she just flashed me her phone, zoomed in so I could read it from far away, that said, a shantyman is a lumberjack. So we're here to just give fucking urgent news, as it comes in. It's none of this we'll report next week. No, guys. We have hard-hitting facts. And I want to know if you guys call them bibs or if you call them overalls. Because I guess my notes I have overalls, but I feel like if I'm talking out loud, I say bibs. Or is it an age thing? You outgrow bibs when you become a teenager. So the moral of this story is that I don't like them. And I'm sharing that with you today because it's important to know that not everything is made for everyone. And I wouldn't want you thinking that one person that's still listening that I didn't lose at my dog's vagina twice. I wouldn't want you thinking that this pod is just like, look at me in my wardrobe, because that's actually 100% of what this pod has been. But like, let the record state, I look fucking stupid in bib overalls and I cannot wear them. Until they make some sort of, even then I don't think they look good. If they make like a high rise overall, they don't work with my curve. And I have plenty of curvy friends who wear them and look great, but it just not on mine. They sit too low and they're too tight on my bell and my legs. And then he's like, oh, we'll size up, you idiot. No, because then it's too baggy on my torso. And so there you have it. To my buddies that can, which is honestly every other buddy that I have in the entire world has overalls. And I anytime I see a friend wearing overalls, I'm like, oh, you look like a million. Like, you look so good. And we do that thing back and forth. It's like, let's not talk for the first 5 minutes we're together and just compliment each other and how great you look today. Like, go get them, guys. You have a real talent. You can wear bib overalls. Fuck yeah. But I'm here to report that no, not everyone can wear everything. And it's fun to try things. And it's also, maybe next week I'll be like, guys, I wore the bib overalls and they were a hit. But I'm not here to tell you that today. Another thing that recently didn't work out for me, guys, and that I'm like really having a kind of a hard time with is fucking moon boots. Like, like it's real. I ordered some like real deal moon boot, like Louis Armstrong fucking walk on the moon. Nope. Neil Armstrong. I wish it was Louis Armstrong who walked on the moon. Can't have it all. But the brand moon boots are inspired by the astronaut suits. And they look like astronaut boots. And they just don't like girls with any kind of calf. Story of my fucking life. And it's especially such a trip because I have small feet. You remember how they were bound in patent leather shoes as a child. So there are just some fucking shoes that are just like, no, you can't wear us. Like, even in the ankle, top foot, whatever area. Like, shoes are hard, guys. Shoes, that's why I don't talk about shoes on this pod, because they're hard. Someday, I'm going to have some sort of fucking breakthrough, and it's going to be like, wow. So lately, I've been talking a lot about wanting Red Wings. And I've been doing a lot of research, because it's like a really big investment. And I'm like, I haven't had a good experience with boots in a really long time. But what I did is I ordered some Docs as like my gateway to Red Wing. And I haven't had Docs since 1996, so I'm pretty fucking excited. I got just like a little 2-inch heel, so we'll see how it does with my plantar fasciitis, and we'll see how it works with my big girl ankles and all of the above. And I'll do a full Doc Martin recap in season 2. Pew, 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 pew. This is my laser noise. Maybe by then I'll have my laser noise perfected too. But again, I digress. Congratulations to those of you who can wear bibs. I'll print you out a certificate tomorrow. This is how I get when I'm jealous. Like, I'm a jealous, horrible, green monster. Like, I'll print you out a certificate tomorrow. Like, what a fucking bitch. Me, not you. I'm the fucking bitch. Have I told you guys about the Russian bear? Oh, so on Insta, this is a little gem from Emma. On Insta, it's Svetlana_NKO69. I mean, okay, thank God Instagram has enabled translation because I don't read Russian. I know that you all probably thought that I did, but I don't. This fucking bear has lived with these people since he was a bear cub, and he's fully trained, right, at the opposite of being ferocious and like everything in his DNA and his marrow, and as you know, he's just like looking at these people like, I'll fucking rip your fucking head off. I'm a bear. Rah. But he doesn't. And like people pay to come and have like full blown photo shoots with this jet. It's like the biggest grizzly bear in the world. I'm going to go on record and say that's the biggest Russian bear in the world. They'll be like, I was scrolling through the other day, there'll be like this girl sleeping in like this big princess purple fairy bed, and then like the bear, like he's gonna be like the Prince Charming that like wakes her up. Or like there will be these kids, and it's like all themed like this, right? There's like these kids and like these Tom Sawyer adventure tatter wear, and then the bear. Or like there's this couple having a romantic picnic in the middle of the road, and then the bear. And it's just like, I know I'm torn. I'm torn because I really, really love it. But also in my loins, it's like, it's a bear, and he's gonna eat your fucking child's head off. Especially if you're having a picnic in the middle of a road and you have fucking a plate of salmon. You're just like fucking taunting him. So it's interesting. It's the gift that keeps on giving, this fucking bear. And someday maybe I'll have see, it's probably just me being jealous again that I want my photo shoot time with the grizzly. The other day they had a video of him playing. It's like too tender. I might. They had a video of him playing with his favorite toy. And him as a little bear cub with the same toy. Like just like the young toy of it. And it was very like Toy Story. It was like the montage of Woody and Andy. And it reminded me of Rosie and her Nylabone that will like never ever. She's like an insane power chewer, right? And this thing is just like, it's like a chicken flavor or something. And she's been actively gnawing on it for 2 years, and she hasn't even begun to make a dent in it. She's just like, she's crude with her toys, and this is like the only sustaining, surviving. I can't recommend Nylabones enough. Which brings me to this fucking dog and all of the bullshit. So Rosie, since we got her, she has been afflicted with what Johnny and I call walking peas. And for a few times in her life, she's had bloody walking peas. And when it's really, really bad, she'll do the walking pee and nothing comes out. So we go to the vet, and it's the nice new vet. Remember the first time I learned about dog butt juice in the form of anal glands was at this new vet. So we're still going to that same vet. They're really lovely. It's like they're in downtown St. Paul, and it's so great, and they make it so comfy cozy, and everyone there is just really lovely. So they take her in the back, and they come back out, and the vet is like, I don't know what's going on. I can't find your dog's bladder. And I'm like, excuse me? She's like, I don't, something is weird here. I can't, like, this is a large, very important organ. And they don't see it on all their fancy machines. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. It's okay. So they're like, so we're going to try to get a pee sample. I'm like, I'll help you with that. She's fucking weird about it. So I'm taking her outside, and there's this lovely vet tech. Her name was Megan. Just like, picture the sweetest Megan you know. You know that you have one. And picture her with a soup ladle in her hand. And she's, my dog is just naturally very nervous. And Megan is, God bless her, anytime that Rosie acts like she might be peeing, the vet tech takes this ladle and like lunges towards the dog in hopes that she might catch a little bit of pee. The time that she did, Rosie got so spooked that she like barked back at her and like got a little bit of the ladle in her mouth and like and the bottom of the ladle broke off from the handle of the ladle, and there was a little bit of pee in the ladle, and it went everywhere, and it looked like Rosie had bit through the ladle. So I'm like fucking freaking out, right? Because she's like, in my head, she's like ferocious. She's chewing on this vet tech's hand at this point. So I'm like, oh my God, are you okay? And she's like, yeah, the ladle, she just like pulled it out of its thing. It's okay. And then we're like looking in the dark to see if there's pee in this. It was a plastic black fucking soup ladle. And I'm like, this is not sterile. Can we do this? And then she's like, I think I got enough pee in here. And we're like looking under the street light. She's like, yeah, I can do this. We can do a urinalysis with this little amount of pee. So they come back, and the vet looks at me, and she's like, she's like, that's nasty. This is really nasty. And you don't want a doctor to walk in and be like, this is nasty. You expect them to be like, hi, nice times. We have a little bit of a problem. But what I appreciate about these people, right, is that they're meeting me where I'm at, and they talk my language, and they walk in there like, yeah, this is nasty. Her pH apparently is through the roof. You want dogs to be at like 7 or something or lower. I don't even know. But her pee is basically radioactive, like lime green. And they brought me over to the computer, and they're like, you're going to want to see this. And they showed me the urinalysis, which is it's basically like all the cool fucking lab tests they do, but they're putting her pee under a microscope. And she has crystals in her urine. And they pull me over, and they're like, this should all be gray. It should be a clear gray. You should not see anything. And you guys, it was like this weird fucking thing happened in my head, because I was immediately like, it was like the first time you see a Jackson Pollock and you're like stricken with feeling, and you're like, oh my God, I get it. Because I was torn with the feeling of like, oh my God, this is gorgeous. My dog is magic. She pees crystals. And then I'm like, oh, there should not be fucking anything. I'm like, what the fuck? What is this? And you guys, it's like, what's that game? It's like Jewel Crush. It looks like fucking vid lottery fucking cartoon jewels in my dog's pee. And then it's riddled with like, because she has this terrible fucking, just a gorgeous infection. I'm going to post photos because it looks like modern art. And it'd be weird if I hung them up. But also, God damn it, if I didn't go to work the next day and I was like, look how pretty my dog's pee is. There's red blood cells and white blood cells and tissues, and it was a work of art, and also like really disheartening and really spooky and really scary, sad at the same time. And then they were like, yeah, she may need surgery. Also, where is your dog's bladder? So I came home that night with a prescription for this new fucking pee diet. So she's getting like, it's like the equivalent of fucking Fancy Feast, because we have to like take it out of a fucking can and like mush it up and heat it up. And She's on these antibiotics and X, Y, and fucking Z. So she's on this new diet for 2 weeks. And we're just like going on with life. And she's like making out with her boyfriend, Kevin. Like she's feeling good. She's not having bloody peas anymore. So we go back to the vet after she's been on this prescription. It's like, you guys, I will never have like a nice, expensive, like YSL investment kind of handbag, because I was just talking to a coworker about this, because my dog has a fucked up, but she doesn't have a bladder. It's fucking weird. So we go back to the vet after all of this, and they're busy, so they're like, we'll just take her to the back quick and see if we can get a urine sample and do a urinalysis, and then we'll have you come back in. We're like, okay. And she's like so freaked out that like I have to walk Rosie to the door because she's fucking Velcro. So we get in the back room, and I'm immediately like struck in with this smell that I have smelled before. I'm like, oh my God, what the fuck is that? And like my entire arm is over my face, and Johnny looks at me and he's like, what are you? It's like, don't be dramatic. He's like, that's rude. And then the vet tech was like, oh, Rosie released her anal glands. And then the vet came in. But the vet is so fucking cool. She was like, yeah, the dog released her anal glands, and she did it in a way where it made a noise. And it got on me, and it got on the vet tech. And I'm just like, I'm fucking mortified, right? Like, Rosie, fucking keep your shit in your butt. This is the second time she's done it to this vet. Like, remember when she power launched it onto the wall? She's so fucking disgusting. But like, that's how spooky scared she gets. But the worst part is that this vet wasn't wearing like scrubs. She was wearing like a cute sweater and like knee-high heeled boots. She was like, I'm like, God damn, did she get it on your clothes? Like, I'm so sorry. Like, we're never going to be invited back to this vet. That's a fucking problem. So she, her pees have been fine. So now what we're going to do is, we're just going to watch her pees and these infections, because it inevitably will come back. And when it comes back, we're going to go to the vet because she wants to check out her vulva. Rosie has what is called a recessed vulva, or a juvenile vulva. And this is what happens when they spay puppies too young, is that like the hormones stop, and so their bodies stop, producing the right kind of shit. So apparently she has a little baby vulva. The internet calls it a hypoplastic vulva. It makes for chronic urinary tract infections because it's engulfed by skin folds around it. It's gross but also important because vaginal health is very serious. And because she's like such a low riding dog, and like, bacteria will get trapped in that area, and then it boop, 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 makes its way up to her bladder. By the way, this last time the vet came in, she was like, hey, your dog has a bladder. That's really great. I could see it. Before, it was just really full of gross, icky, gunky crystals. And I was like, oh, my dog pees rose quartz. It's so chic for me. Look at your little amethyst peas. And so the internet says, and this is, I'm just going to fucking read this. The extra skin folds in these patients act like a dam, thereby collecting urine, moisture, heat, the absence of light, and the accumulation of skin debris in such close quarters all serve to fashion an ideal environment within the skin folds for bacteria to thrive. Infection of the vagina and urinary tract occur when these bacteria travel upwards and into these regions. Further, the rubbing of these excessive skin folds during the course of daily life causes small amounts of localized trauma. This yields additional itchiness, which leads to self-trauma, like licking and scooting, and therefore more trauma and infection. So I want you to know that, like, this comes from a pet insurance website. So, like, they're going to make it sound as happy and as raunchy as possible, right? So, like, I was reading that and I was like, oh, shit, I fucking need this fucking pet insurance. And I can't, like... So they want to do this cosmetic surgery. And I'm way too immature to even tell you that they take skin between the anus and the vulva and resect it. But I did it. Just did it. So there's that. And like, as the doctor was telling me this, is like, she was very clear. She's like, this is a cosmetic surgery, technically, because we're just taking that skin fold. And she's like, but does it work in most cases? So we're like, it's interesting, right? And so the first thing that popped into my head to ask the vet was there anything that I can do to bathe her differently? Because, like, I'm thinking, I immediately was thinking to, like, my lack of sexual health education and how dudes had to clean around foreskin. And I'm like, in my head, this is like what that was. And I was like, I don't want to weirdly scrub my dog's vagina. So, like, do I need to do groomer stuff? And she's like, no, it's not anything you can do to fucking bathe your dog differently. You guys, this is what owning a dog is, okay? And that's that. And the saga of my dog's journey to her first plastic cosmetic surgery. Be looking for a GoFundMe site soon for my dog's cosmetic surgery of her vagina. Totally fucking kidding. I would never do that. But go love your pet today, because I thought mine didn't have a bladder and that I'd have to hold a dog colostomy bag for her forever because I'm fucking nuts and dramatic like that. So bye, Smoochie. Love you. Bye. And if you got this far in the pod, I'm impressed as fuck and really grateful to have you listening. If you want to know more information about me or the show, check out the show page on matriarchdm.com, where we host all of the What I Can't Take Off, our progressive Spotify playlist from the songs of the week, and obviously the reminder of who to follow for the week, all in a nice little fucking Matriarch digital media bow. Theme song is Molly May by Ben Karen. Like, I'll never get over saying that. It's so good, right? Thanks for listening. You're so cute.